Hi, welcome to Donegal Dad. I'm Mark. Today we're going to carry on with the painting of the retaining wall and platform. Right, the first stage, we've stepped outside. I've got some cheap grey primer here. I'm going to spray it in. First of all, I'm going to give a quick sand down to the bits of wood filler I filled in over the screw holes, smooth them out. So we'll get that done first. That's that smoothed off. Again, this is just some cheap grey primer. Make sure you give it a good shake. The reason I'm outside is because this is quite toxic in an enclosed space, so it's better to be outside and give it a good spray. Let the fumes dissipate. So we're just going to start with some light sprays first. And we're slowly building up the layers. Right, I'll leave that to dry. Leave it out here for about an hour, let it dry, come out and give it another coat if necessary. So here we are, back inside. It's been left outside for a couple of hours to dry. It's important that if you are using these rattle cans as a primer, they are quite toxic, so if you can't do it outside, make sure you're doing it in a well ventilated room and you're wearing appropriate masks. So now we'll get on and we'll do some more of the detailing on it. So what I have here now is some various greys and blacks, some mixing white. Put them on the palette here, and it's a case of just taking some colours, mixing them, just to give some different shades of grey, and then we can just highlight some individual stones, just give some different colour variation. Just mix up as many colours, because you know, if you look at a stone built wall, all the stones, they're not the same colour, they're not a uniform grey, so you're just picking out stones in different colours, or even just groups of stones, and it's just a matter of carrying on with that method all the way down on the wall and the platform. It's going to take you a good few hours to do this sort of length, so do a bit at a time and just take your time doing it. Here you can see the palette I was using. I've just mixed white and various blacks and greys to give me different shades. I've then gone along the retaining wall and platform, picking out different stones in different colours, just to give some variation. And then you can see on the end here, I've started experimenting with some washes to see which one would be best for picking out the mortar. I think I've decided to go for the black wash here, which is just a solution of black acrylic and water. So I'm going to wash down now the rest of the platform and retaining wall to give it a mortar wash. That will also help blend in these different colours and tone it down a bit to make it look a little bit more weathered. So I'll get on with that now and then show you the finished result. So to do the black wash, take your solution, make sure you give it a good shake so it's well mixed. Just take the solution, using a paintbrush, and just rub it on, making sure it gets into all the crevices and the mortar lines, and put it over the white edge as well, so it tones it down. Now it may look quite dark when you first put it on, because it's a diluted solution. It will dry a paler colour, and you can also just show you later how you can remove some of it and tone it down even further. So I'll just carry on doing this. So just take your time, stippling it all in to the mortar gaps, any cracks, spreading it around. So I'll come back to this when I've got it complete. The black wash has been applied over the entire platform and the retaining wall, and you can see how it's all blended in, left a mortar course in. If you find the wash is on too dark for you and you want to remove some of it, you can simply use a paper towel to wipe over, and that will remove some of it. If you want to remove a heavier amount, I use some wet wipes and just wipe over. And that will remove a lot more than just a dry towel. And then if you wish, you can go over it with a towel just to dry it off and see how much is left. And you can see how, where we've previously painted some of the stones a different colour, how they're popping through and giving some variation. Now the next stage is to do some dry brushing with a bit of white to highlight some of the details. To do the dry brushing, we're going to be doing dry brushing here with some white. Take some white, take a stiff brush, just dab it in, and you want to wipe off as much of the white as possible. Even just get a piece of paper and just... So really you want most of it off. And then just doing vertical strokes. If you feel like there's too much, rub it in further with your fingers. You can see there how it highlights the stones while leaving the mortar course dark. And just carry on that process. Wherever you want, just to highlight different aspects. The thing is, you want to have as little paint on the brush as possible. You can see how it lightens the wall again, highlights the details, just to make everything stand out. So I'll carry on doing that down the wall, and we'll have a look at it when it's finished. That's the dry brushing complete. You can see I've gone heavier with the dry brushing in some places just to give variation. I've also gone over the platform and used some grey to dry brush that to highlight some of the detail. It actually looks a lot darker on the camera than it actually is. So next now we'll look at the roadway that's going to be on the top. You can see here I've started painting the roadway. I've given it a basic colour of Payne's Grey, sort of reflects a new tarmac colour. But of course roads aren't all brand new tarmac, so we need to put some tracks down here of a lighter colour to indicate wear and tear on the road. So for that I'm just taking a vehicle and I'm just going to put some pencil marks just around where the wheels would be. And I'll do that all the way down the length, and then draw a light line down so it gives me some indication of where to paint the tracks in. So I'll draw those lines on now. I don't know if you can make out there, I've got two lines lightly drawn down to give me an idea of where the wheel tracks would be. I've got some rail match worn tarmac, and using a small brush, what I'm going to do is just come down those lines. You don't want it to be perfectly straight. But it just gives an indication of where the wheel tracks would be. So I'm going to carry on and do this down the length, and then we'll come back and have a look at it. That's the basic roadway complete. You can see with the two different colours how it generates the tracks that the vehicle will make going up and down a road. There'll be more weathering and greenery and everything put on here to help break up the black off the road so it looks more natural. That'll be after I do all the houses and the wiring of the LEDs in, which will be the next video. So we'll leave it there for this week. So next week we'll be looking at putting some LED lights into the houses and probably some on the platform as well. So if you've got any questions or comments, leave them down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.